Meeting is now streaming live.
Yep, we are live. Just gotta find my other icon.
Oh snap!
I'm so mad.
Let me look up. I'm like, look, I just caught myself on camera.
I can't like get to my page. Okay. All right. So now is the time if you guys want to do a watch party. You can do the watch party.
You might have to tag me because I'm on my phone today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll tag you for the watch party.
Yo, this is dope, yo.
Yeah, it is.
Technology, right?
I'm on Uncommon Woman. Sorry, let me stop. Look, she feeling good about herself. I know her. She's like, yeah.
All right, so we're just going to give it a moment for a couple more people to show up. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Willie. Hi, Gus. Hi, Ali. Thanks, everyone. This is going to be interesting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Especially with Derek.
Yes.
And Marcus. So.
Man, I was gonna misbehave, but I'm not going to.
Why?
I was gonna.
Oh man, I feel bad now.
I was gonna jump in and then start asking questions like I'm a guest, like from the audience. Like, what would you do if that chick cheated on you?
Oh my goodness.
Derek, what do you think? Like disgruntled.
All right,
Oh,
go ahead and get started.
All right. Thank you for tuning into Uncommon Women. I am your host, Jenny Lee.
And I'm Shanira.
Well, I'm going to explain what we do and who we are. We are Uncommon Women. We give a platform to those that want to speak on their lives and speak on their testimonies of what they've gone through. We uplift, we encourage, and we are women empowered. Obviously, we have men and that also listen in as well. So I want to give a holler to the gentlemen. So I want to introduce you to Marcus and Derek. So we're going to speak about dating. So I'm going to read Marcus's bio. He is a CEO of a real estate and investment firm called Passive Income, which is located in the Caribbean. Ooh. He has military background. He has attended many personal development seminars and personal finances. His focus is to discipline on relationships. His passion is helping others and advancing his community.
Nice.
Was that me? Was that me?
Yeah.
I was listening. I was like, who's she talking about?
Really?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So to tell you a little bit about Derek, Derek is 29. He's a single man born and raised in Chester, PA. He's the youngest of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, big family. He's a music producer and composer. He's been doing that since the age of 13. He's known as a trendsetter who strives to lead and also help people by spreading knowledge and resources to impact the world by the grace of God. So I thank both of you, the young men, for coming out. And
that was so nice.
guest speakers on Uncommon Women. So we're going to just jump right into the topic today, which is dating. Before we actually get into our questions that we're going to be discussing amongst each other, anyone that has any questions for us, for me and Jenny, or our guest speakers, feel free to drop it in the comments and we'll answer all the questions at the end. So you have to stay to the end if you have a question to hear your question answered. But before we go into dating and what we're going to talk about, Marcus, can you tell us a little bit about what you've learned in your past relationships? We are both all single. We're all single here. We're all single on a platform. So before we go into dating, what is something that you've learned from your past relationships?
What I've learned from my past relationships is that my past relationships began and ended with me. We can't control anybody as much as easy as it is to point the finger at someone else. All we can do is work on ourselves and improve ourselves for the betterment of the next person, hopefully the last person. And so I have in my time, I've strived very hard to work on me and make myself that much better so that my next relationship will be my last.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Derek, how about you? What have you learned from your past relationships?
Man, first and foremost, I want to say, Marcus, man, that was deep. Man, I don't know if I can match that now. I'm just playing. But,
Perfect, brother. You're perfect, man.
What can I say? First and foremost, guys, if you're listening, bring some holy water. Now I'm just playing. But I've learned that you truly can't pour from an empty cup. And as bad as you might care about somebody, you gotta let God, connect the dots. And people have to heal. People have to heal before they get into something new. I don't want to make it seem like I'm the best of the best guys in the world, but yeah, I'm a nice guy. I tend to wear my heart on my sleeve, but also, you have to have an equal balance, and you have to have communication and also understanding. You can't leave important words unsaid. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Jenny, what is something that you've learned from your past relationships?
I mean, basically not to make the same mistakes, not to tolerate certain things. I've tolerated a lot in the past, abuse, and not to settle for less than what I deserve. I deserve to be treated as a queen. I just learned, like I said, not to tolerate certain things and grow from my mistakes.
Wow.
That's good.
That's true. That's true.
Very good.
So as far as me,
Drum
roll, please.
I mean, I've learned to, when a person shows you who they are, you have to believe that.
Yep.
And me having a good heart and always trying to help somebody and having good intentions for everybody, I've learned that a lot of people who don't have those type of friends or anybody in their life that wants to help you, some people take advantage of it.
Yep.
So I've learned that, being evenly yoked with somebody is very important.
Yes.
What I'm looking for in the person is definitely something that I can bring to the table as well. I've learned that accountability is very important as well. So,
Yep.
I mean, I'm still learning. Day to day, but eventually I would like to get to be in a relationship where it's going to be long term and we're not just dating to just date.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
And with
So
equally yoked, does that mean like I'm sorry, equally yoked, does that mean y'all have to be doing the same thing? So the man of your dreams, does he have to be in podcasting?
No, he does not have to be in podcasting. But what I mean by equally yoked, like they got to be driven. I feel
On the
as though,
same page.
yeah, I need someone that's driven like me. You know,
Mhm.
I
Hmm.
can't be with someone that has goals but don't take no initiatives to actually get to where
yeah,
they're just all talk. You know what I'm saying? So like personally, I have intentions, a good heart to help everybody, but people have to want to help themselves.
Wow. Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. You're right. You're so
Mhm.
right.
So guys, what does dating mean to you?
Uh, mm. Dating to me, it's like more like like dating as in like um in the beginning stages, right? Or just in general.
What do
Just
they
in
do
general.
to you?
Oh,
Oh, I
beginning.
mean,
Well, we could take that too.
yeah, I mean, well, I mean, because when you like in the beginning, like that's the interview. But that's just my opinion. I mean, but I, I mean, dating for me, I take it serious. I mean, because like for me, it's like I'm valuing that woman. I'm giving her respect. I'm giving her my time, and I'm investing. So for me, it's serious because like we're in a time where not too many people take dating seriously. You know what I mean? They leave one situation and jump into another. But for me, it's cherishable moments in time.
Mhm.
That's
So
good.
so dating is a multi-level aspect for me, and I in researching and listening to dating and studying dating, we have transitioned from a point of where we just you cute, I'm cute, we go together, let's date, right? There's
No.
no, and we have
Yeah.
we've skipped a lot of steps in that process, and so dating to me, there needs to go through a process, and we should start with courtship, right? Where is the initial interaction where I see a woman and I'm attracted to her, I let her know of my interest and I desire, and I court her so that she can now see what I'm about and see what I'm bringing to the table and who I am, most importantly, right? And so that will build her level of interest in me, and then we move on to the phase of we are now exclusive. We are now
Mhm.
coming together, and we are
Yes.
gonna just pursue each other, right? And so we somewhere along the line we messed that up, and we've lost sight of that, and we just jump into relationship because of the physical aspect, and we forget what's in someone's heart, and that's what can lead to the missteps of getting with someone who's abusive, someone who doesn't
Hmm.
understand love, someone who doesn't know how
Mhm.
is an effective communicator, because we've skipped some steps. And so dating to me has to go through each step, and so that's why that's what it looks like to me.
Mm.
I agree. I think dating
Yeah.
is definitely
Me
something
too.
to actually get to know the person. And I think you have to ask more detailed questions when you're dating someone to eliminate a whole time frame of being wasted. You got to ask, is this how do you date? Do y'all casually date? Are we talking to a whole bunch of people and getting to know and just, eliminating
Mm.
as we're going, picking out the bucket, picking out the basket, or are we just focusing on each other, getting to know each other, and then if we're not compatible, are we no longer dating? I think it also depends on what you're looking for while you're dating. Are you looking for long term? Are you looking for marriage? Are you looking to have children? Like I think those are important while you're dating and while you're courting to get to know a person in the first steps of actually dating.
And I agree with you, Shanara, because I think when you date, I think there always has to be a real big purpose behind it when you're dating. Like you said, it's the purpose. If you're just trying, like you said, if you're just trying to date, just to date people to get to know them or long term. And I feel like if you're gonna date someone and you really thinking long term, you gotta date with a purpose, like the actual purpose. Not too many people do that anymore. They just want to date and get to know people and don't want to just date. They just dating to find some certain type and they don't even really want to know, because when you start dating someone, that's a big commitment and time out of your life to get to know somebody. you have to give space to this person in your life.
That's
I hear
good.
you. I
That's
hear you.
good. Did any of you fellows want to tag in on that? Or should I go into the next portion?
No,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Dating is a powerful thing, and I think dating and marriage have gotten the line between the two has
Mhm.
skewed. And so although yes, dating is complicated. Dating I can also walk away from if I've lost interest, if I'm not interested, or I'm falling out of love, or we no longer go together due to lifestyle changes or medical changes or whatever case may be. You can walk away from that. I think marriage has also unfortunately followed the same trend. And so marriage, people are also walking away from marriage. You hear of couples who
Mhm.
are 18 years, 20 years, 30 years
Yep.
married and now divorcing because it's so easy to walk away. And so um we got to get back to the love. We got to get back to what's important, and it's
Right.
each other and that commitment we
Yes.
made in the very beginning. And got to go through that cycle. Got to go through that cycle of dating and courtship. And really, all of you are correct. The biggest question is, if you're interested in me, why? That's it. That's all I need to know. Why do you like me? Why are you interested in me? What
Mhm.
is it about me? And if you say
Yep.
any of this, that's not it.
That's not
Yep.
enough.
We're not gonna last,
That's
No.
right? There needs to be more. There needs to be more. But the biggest question, the first question is, why do you like me? Why are you
Mhm.
interested in me? Why do you
Yep.
want to pursue me? And so that'll answer so many things and get a lot of missteps out of the way.
right.
Yeah.
What do you
Mhm.
think people should actually work on before actually dating?
I can start.
Themselves.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
You took it away.
Go ahead.
You got it, D.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Sorry, Marcus. You can't jump. You, you can't. Well, you shouldn't jump into a new situation until you know that you're really fully ready.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
agree.
like you can't come into a new situation with old baggage either. Yeah, I mean, and bringing that into something new. Like you have to like. That's why I say a lot of people jump into situations, just to either be in one or because some people don't want to be alone or beyond stability, just many reasons. But instead of the right things, like to have somebody that's compatible for you, and like one thing that we don't get back is time.
Right.
You don't get time back, and you really have to like really analyze not just the person but yourself, because like you got to ask yourself, do I want this? Am I ready?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Marcus, how about you? What do you think people should actually work on before actually starting to date?
Themselves. And so on a previous podcast I was on, a lot of men, it was a podcast dedicated to men, and they were talking about, I need to get my credit straight, I need to get my career straight, I need to get my job straight, I need to get my household in order, need to get the car straight. And all of those things are important, but one of the things I had to remind that young man about is that all those things are important, and yes, you should have a foundation before you pursue a woman, but it doesn't take away from your value, and you're still a man even if those things are out of whack. And so same thing goes for women. You're still a queen, a nurturer, a lover, a queen of her castle, even if your credit is jacked up, right?
Mhm.
We have to remember that. But before entering any relationship, there should be a foundation. And so when you enter that relationship with someone who's like-minded and you know what your end goal is, you can now build on that foundation but you've laid the groundwork. And so work on yourself, develop yourself, and get to a place that you are comfortable. Doesn't have to be finished, doesn't have to be complete, but comfortable. This is a good start. This is a good starting place for me. And now I'm ready to pursue this young woman.
That's good. That's good. I
I
agree.
agree.
I mean, definitely self-love. You got to work on yourself. And I think adding to self-love, you definitely have to Have forgiveness for anything that you've been through in the past.
Yep.
Any relationships that you've been through, you have to have forgiveness. You have to heal. You have to heal. Not be broken or trying to date, you know what I'm saying? Saying that, thinking that you know yourself and thinking that you love yourself, because you can love yourself, but you still can be broken. Something can still trigger you from a past relationship. So you have to be healed from your past relationships and forgive what you've been through in regards to that. But that all comes with self-love. I think self-care is very important. I think awareness is very important before dating. You have to be aware of what triggers you. You have to be aware of, well, we'll get into standards and boundaries, but I think awareness as a whole is very important before actually dating. But yeah, go ahead, Jenny.
I mean, you pretty much laid the, pinpointing what I was gonna say, and Derek as well. And it you have to really, really work on yourself, especially if, like Janera, like you were mentioning, like where a lot of people be like, oh, well, I love myself. And then like, sometimes, as a friend, I'll let another friend know, like, listen, what you're doing is not cool. Like, you're dating other people and you're talking to these many people, and then you're saying you love yourself, but then you're lowering yourself and your standards. And that self-awareness, even though she doesn't have the self-awareness, but that's my girl. I'm gonna let her know, like, hey, you got to hold yourself accountable. You can't say you love yourself and you're doing this, and you wonder why, you can't find somebody that you want when you haven't even learned to heal and love yourself.
Right.
Very true.
It's true.
Very true indeed.
I'm gonna shut up.
Right. Me too. That was good.
It's a powerful thing. I think it takes a special person to love somebody through that, though. I think I think it takes a special bond and connection and a special type of man and a special type of woman, even if you're not all the way healed. But one thing I always bring up when couples are talking, I say to them, ask the hard questions, right? Ask the things that happened in the past. I'm not trying to take you back there, but the reason why you should ask about the past is to make sure that you don't repeat it, right? So I need to know what hurts you. I need to know what scars you bear. I need to know what burdens you're carrying. I don't take you back to that place. And so if you don't tell me that you were abused or you were molested or hurt or in any kind of way, I may say something accidentally that will trigger you.
Right.
So I think it takes a special kind of love in a person to really nurture somebody through that. So yes, you can heal and work on healing yourself, but if you meet the right person and you make the right connection and you communicate, I think you can be loved through it until you're fully healed, until you're 100% better.
I want to say something though, also. Like, yes, you have to communicate, but you have to have understanding as well to match that. Because like we all can communicate, but if I'm talking and you saying, yeah, I get it, but you really don't understand. I'm trying to break it down to you in particles. And like we all know some people are afraid to like really truly go back to the past because it's, especially if it's real traumatic and painful. But but there's nothing wrong with going back. Just don't stay there. Yeah, I mean, and when you're building with somebody that's trying to, understand. Well, I don't want to say understand your pain, but understand like your trials. So neither parties will repeat any, a cycle. Yeah, I mean, like as they say, out with the old and with the new. And but Marcus was saying some dope stuff, and I agree with that as well. Very true.
Thank you.
I think we're missing, as far as my perspective from a woman, I think I've been missing in the past a man being vulnerable, a man letting me know what he's went through. So like I can know what triggers them. I think men put on this
facade.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
Yep.
Man,
Mhm.
gotta be this, that, and the third. And it's like, but if we're getting to know each other, if we're on a dating stage, I would like you to be honest and be vulnerable with me so that I know
Yes, exactly.
we're on
Yes.
the same page in regards to whatever we're discussing, you know? That's all I wanted to add with that.
and that's true. But some men aren't taught emotions, right? We're taught to be
Yep.
tough, providers,
Yep.
nurturers, go
Mhm.
out, hunt it, and kill it, bring it back home. And
Yep.
so when you ask a man, babe, I need you to be vulnerable. What the hell is that? Get away from me. I'm gonna go.
Mhm.
And he puffs up, right?
Right,
Yep.
right.
Out with aggression, right? Because that's sometimes that's how we're taught and how we're brought up to be
Mhm.
tough, right? And so
Mhm.
it again, it
How do
takes
you
somebody,
approach it? How do you
huh?
approach it without him showing like I'm trying to like feminine? Like, how do you approach that type of conversation?
So you approach that conversation delicately and you just ask probing questions. You do ask the questions and you ask them early, very early. And sometimes you'll even get an indicator or a hint if you meet the family, because the family can give you a good clue of how his mindset is set up. If I go in your home and I'll give you me. I can only talk for myself. I've gone in a home and the mom and dad are cursing at each other
Oh.
Foundation.
to each other's face. That oh my that B word in there will go get you some water. Or I hate his guts. He needs to go kill himself. Literally gone in a house and they're cursing at each other. And this is what this young woman has been exposed to for her entire life.
Yep.
And so guess what I didn't do when we were courting? I didn't curse at her. I didn't come off with aggression. I didn't come off with high energy or be this and be, and that's hard because I was a sailor. And sailors cuss.
You did the
So
opposite.
I did the opposite because
Yeah.
that's not what she needed. She needed understanding to know that, but it took me to do that investigative work and to realize this is not what she want. Why do I have this? I don't know why I have this going. It took
Right.
that detective work and that heart for listening and nurturing to understand that this is not what she needs. And so that's how you approach it, delicately, early, and do a little bit of digging.
Nice. Nice.
So how do you feel about boundaries?
Oh man.
Well, I mean, like we all should have limits as far as like boundaries and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like the do's and don'ts,
Mhm.
if you will. So so both people can be on the same page. Some people can go a little above and beyond. Yeah, I mean, just but I get it. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, boundaries, yeah, they're definitely needed.
What does boundaries mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like that's showing the other party that you really respect them. You know what I mean? Like, their wishes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for me, it's, understanding and respecting whatever, boundaries that's put the best way, that I can. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for the next guy. But yeah,
Mhm.
you gotta have those.
How about you, Marcus?
I think boundaries are crucial. I think setting those up again early on,
Hold
they're
on,
very,
Marcus Crucial. I like
they're
how
very
the
crucial.
opposite of Marcus said crucial.
No, they're very crucial. No, you said it. You said the same thing. You said they're important. You agreed
Yeah.
with it. They're
Right.
important. I think they're
Right.
mandatory in some instances because
Yeah.
there is a lot of external things that will try and enter your relationship. There are a lot of external family members that will try and
Yes.
enter your relationship. There's a lot of
Oh, yes.
life,
True.
taxes, Trump,
Third party.
there's always somebody external to your relationship
A third
always
party.
trying to enter and dictate how abortion, right? There's all these different external things that are trying to influence your relationship. And so setting healthy boundaries is crucial. I have family members that are toxic. I'll say it, they're toxic.
Mhm.
And they will probe and push and talk about my
Yep.
girl to or your wife or whoever, your husband,
Right.
till the end of time. And that's just how they are. And it, whoever side that is, if that's your family, I need you to establish that healthy boundary early on with your family. And if it goes that far, I'll set it for us. Right?
Indeed.
Your dad is not allowed across this line. I met a couple. They just got married, and the wife was complaining to her husband that this part of the refrigerator was busted. Now, again, he didn't do his research. The dad comes from a genre of men where they'll take stuff apart, put it back together, and it'll work. I take something apart, I guarantee you I'll be missing pieces, and it won't work at all. But that's what she was brought up in. So she grew up with the thought process of, I'll just tell this my man that this is broken and he'll fix it. He's not he what he was doing, what he was saving his money so he can pay somebody to fix it. And she didn't understand that. So what did she do? She went back to what she was used to and she called her dad. Now they're married. They have their own place, their own dog, their own keys, and her dad comes in their house and fixes the refrigerator. The man lost his mind because there was no healthy defined boundary. And
Oh
so he
wow.
lost his mind because his wife didn't give him the opportunity to fix it. And the dad overstepped his boundary because that's his baby girl. He gonna always love her,
Mhm.
but she's married. That's why you walked her
Yep.
down the aisle, right? You bestowed that trust to take care of this house and your family with me. So boundaries need to be set, and they need to be set early on, and they need to be discussed. And if they're not
Mm.
discussed, you can set yourself up for some real shockers later
Yes.
on.
Yes, you
Because
can.
when you marry somebody, you not just accept them, you accept their family.
Yep.
Right.
That's
Right.
why.
Yep.
That's why you have to observe, really, and really get to
Mhm.
know that family. Just like
Uh-huh.
how Marcus, you were saying about like the the cussing and like the back and forth and all that.
Yeah.
And now for me, that's I'm a little different. Like if I get to know, just like for example, if I'm meeting a young lady's family and I'm seeing how they like, I sometimes I can really overly observe, but I
Mhm.
don't look at that as a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because I like peace and I like to know what I'm getting myself into. And some of us don't like, like we don't really look like meaning sometimes those red flags can look like Six Flags in the beginning.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're not really observing and doing what you're supposed to be doing. But I feel like everything starts from the beginning. If you're talking to somebody that got some traits and all that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you definitely got to talk about it, especially if you care for that person. Yeah, address it early. Don't wait too late because, like you were saying, when you wait too late, volcano.
Boom.
Yeah,
And you can't take it back.
no, you
Yeah.
can't. No, you
Nope.
can't.
What do you mean your dad got a key to the house? What?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
What?
wait. What do you mean he's downstairs right now on my couch? You told me he was getting a hotel, everything's fine, but
Right.
now he's eating my dinner on the couch. What
My
the price is right?
Doritos, my PB&J.
Yeah,
We're about to fight. We're
right.
about to fight. Great question, ladies. Great
I
question.
agree.
Yeah,
Boundaries are important. One thing I want to add, I agree with you guys. Definitely setting the tone is important in regards to how you want to be treated. But I also think what you're going to tolerate is important as far as
Yep.
with boundaries as well. And that goes into what you were talking about. Someone coming in the house having a key that you weren't aware of. And those are the type of things that you guys need to communicate beforehand, before y'all move in with each other. And what's expected as far as like what's crossing paths with your family, what you would like to just have in the relationship as far as talking or, anything personal. And then what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate as far as family and friends. So I agree. I agree with everything.
Oh, so do I. But there we missed out on self-control when it comes to boundaries when you are dating. That's important as well.
Self-control.
Self-control, like when you're getting to know each other and you guys are alone, you know, some people want to wait, you know, when it comes to that intimate part as well.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
I think that self-control is important. I think I think people that are waiting, I think you shouldn't put yourself in those type of situations.
Yes.
I feel as though you should move accordingly to how you want the relationship to go. So if
Yes.
you ain't ready to take it to that level, then you should be doing things that's on a level where it's public, where you know your thoughts and your flesh is not taking effect of you in regards to dating.
Yep. There you go.
Marcus, you got this space.
Yeah.
Me.
Go ahead and put your input on that.
Yes.
self-control.
Self-control. It's a delicate thing, and it requires that pre-work. It requires that pre-work that you have to do before you enter in a relationship. So if you know yourself, if you we're all adults, right? We're over 25. So you know, if you know you're a freak and you not gonna have that self-control, then just
Sweet
like
Christmas.
you said, don't put yourself in a position, or you have a high libido, or you have a high sex drive, or you know it's been a couple years. Don't put yourself in that compromising situation, or don't be with someone who won't respect that boundary. If you're abstaining, if you're abstaining and waiting to marriage, then be with someone who will respect that boundary. I courted a lady that was abstaining. Was it hard? Absolutely. But did I respect her enough? Just like Derek said, did I respect her enough? Where do I keep getting this stuff?
Was that a chicken bone? What was that?
I don't know. Did I respect her enough to follow to let her and be with her and abstain with her? And that was hard. That was hard. Knowing myself and knowing who I was in my self-reflection time, it was hard, but I had to use a lot of self-control. And if you know that down the road you're gonna want something, or you're gonna want to move in together, or you're gonna want certain things, then respect them enough to walk away.
Marcus, I got a clap, brother.
That's good.
I got a clap on that one.
Very good.
If she tell you she abstaining, or he tell you he abstaining, nope. You know what?
It's not worth the trouble. It's not worth the pain, the heartache. It's not worth that at all. Because guess what? Yeah, you know, like intimacy is definitely an important part. But you know, like, but you can't forget the love, like, you know what I mean, like, not just the self-control, but like trust your intuition, your spirit too. And a lot of people don't know about, you know, soul ties. You know, like what's soul ties.
Yes.
Yes. So soul ties with that, you know, like that person. So I think if a lot of people really understood that, they'll be more like mindful. They'll be like, you know what, I don't even want that. Going this way.
I agree. So make sure y'all tune into Soul Ties, because we did touch on that on season 2. If people aren't aware of what soul ties are. So how do you guys feel about standards? Like, do you typically set standards when you're dating or when you're courting? How do you guys feel about standards? Do you consider something to be high standards versus low standards?
So the question is, should we establish standards, or what dictates the standards, and what's high and what's low?
Well, let's do both.
Okay. a man should always have standards about himself. A man should always have things that he will accept and things that he won't accept.
He won't.
Right? He should, the same way women have things that they will accept and won't accept. I was shocked. I was really shocked, because my dad was a part of this, and he doesn't believe he wouldn't today he would not date a woman with kids. Now there's 12 of us, right?
Wow.
I have 12 siblings.
Oh,
So
I
I
got
was
10.
I'm with you, man. When you said that earlier, I was like, oh damn, that was a time period that was fun. They
Old
just had
school.
fun back then.
Yeah.
But it that's a boundary that some men or women are setting. They won't date a guy with kids. They won't date a woman with kids. And that's unique and it's different. But
Mhm.
it's if you have that preface up front and you set it up front, then you won't ever bend. And I'm afraid of it because sometimes we'll miss out on a real blessing. We'll miss out on a great guy or gal
Yep.
because we're
Speak on it.
uncompromising sometimes.
Yep.
right.
Preach.
We gotta realize, where to draw the line, and like you said, those highs, I will not bend if he's an abuser, if he's an alcoholic, if that's
Yeah.
mine. If you are involved in recreational drugs, illegal recreational drugs beyond the use of medicinal use, I will not compromise on that, and we don't go together. That
Nope.
is my uncompromising, and that's up here.
Yeah.
Number one, because of
Yep.
what I do, and number two, because I'm in the public eye. I can't,
Yep.
Mm.
right? Just like Derek. Derek is probably meeting with CEOs, executives, other producers. He cannot go around them with a certain stigma about him. And
Yeah.
well, you have to have that high of I will not budge on this, and you will
Mhm.
not change that. And
I
then
mean, not to cut you off, Marcus.
no, you good.
That's very true, brother. You're right. I like to look at myself as simple, but I know we don't live in a simple
No, we
world.
don't.
Though it really could
It's
be
complex.
it could be simple, it could be peaceful. I'm more like this, just in general. If it adds, you ain't gotta bring me because I already got peace. If you can add to my peacefulness, add to that peacefulness, you're all welcome. See, but when the peacefulness gets disrupted, it's confusion, and then you like it's like a seesaw. Okay, where did this come from? I didn't even expect that. You know what I mean? But like, but we already had this understanding here. Though, all right, no offense to any queen, some woman standards be like up here, and I just be like, okay, ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? But like now, equal standards, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like respect, value, time, investing, building a foundation. Yeah, but like some women require some stuff that like I just feel like for me, when I hear a woman say certain stuff about their standards and it's a little too high, I'll never take it personally. I know most men be like, oh girl, but you gotta look at it, like how was it for her, how she grew up. Everything starts from home.
Mhm.
Everything starts from the beginning. Now, like I don't mind talking to a woman that has a kid or two. Yeah, I mean, like my father, like gave me
Or
the
10.
game. Yeah,
Or 10.
I don't know about 10. Listen, hey Marcus, I can't keep up with Pop, Marcus. But listen, I'm gonna keep the name alive. But my thing is this: my father told me at a young age, if you ever talk to a young lady with a kid, understand that that's a package deal. If you ain't ready for that, leave it alone. And
Yes.
a lot of these men haven't gotten that talking to, just like, vice versa for the woman. Because I know some women that they don't mind talking to a man that got a kid or two. See, but it sounds crazy when somebody says, yeah, I don't really talk to men, with kids, and you got kids too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it's something else going on in there, but that's okay, and that's understandable. I don't judge, because in reality, we have to watch who we allow in our homes. I don't have kids, but you definitely gotta watch who you bring around your kids.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because
Yep.
you got women out here that's just okay. That ain't work out. I'm gonna talk to this guy, and dang, another guy's around your kid. So like you have to, you definitely have to be mindful, and really go within yourself too. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's really powerful, and it says something when, like I said, that was new for me. I never met women or men who made that hard line, drew that hard line in the sand, saying they will not date anyone with kids. Because as I grow older, that is more common than not. I can't be 50 and expect a woman to not have a child. I am weaning myself out of the pool, right? And so it was new to me. It was shocking to me to hear that, and surprising to me to hear that. And so, like you said, you respect it and you make the conscious decision within yourself, because that's all we can
Mhm.
control, that
Absolutely.
I will accept that, and I still want to court you, I still want to date you, or I
Hmm.
won't, and I'm gonna walk away right now.
Right.
Yep.
So you're right.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow, not later. Leave it now.
Right
I'm
now.
just
I'm
Right.
playing.
leaving right now. No, wait, hold up. We were doing good. No, we weren't.
Yeah.
We weren't.
Right. I seen the light. Yep. Taxi.
Yep.
I think also people have to be okay with not being what their expectations are or their standards. Like,
Yep.
you got to be okay to just walk away. Like, if it's not working out and y'all just dating, walk away. Like, what are you losing? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think a lot of people try, and that goes back to self-love. A lot of people try to make it work, or, well, this is what they want, so let me change this or let me do this to make it work. And it's like, that's not you. That's not you being honest. That's not you being you. And you have to be whole before you can get into any relationship, because then you're going to just be bouncing around trying to please that person because of their standards, because you don't know what type of standards that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yes.
I
Yes.
agree.
I agree. I totally
I
agree.
agree.
What's some of y'all I want to hear, what are some of y'all, this, I am unwavering in this. What are your high standards? What's your highest standard that you will not bend or compromise on?
I
Um,
mean, my career. That's first and foremost on that. You know what I mean? Like um you ain't gotta have the 10th power, like a billion drives me, but be definitely be driven. You know what I mean? Be independent. And like, also, know what you want. Know what you just like know what you want. Because a lot of people say they know, but they really don't know what they want.
mhm,
Know what you want. And speak on that and
mhm.
go by that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Miss Jen?
Oh, for me is my self-worth. I will not bend over for that for nothing in the world.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Preach.
Because
Preach.
Mhm.
Preach.
Because I know what's it not loving myself, and I know what's it like not having expectations or standards and not having no type of boundaries and dealing with certain things that I don't have to deal with. So I will never compromise my self-worth for nothing in the world. That's
That's
very
right.
I think mine would be abuse, whether it's physical or mental. Like,
Mhm.
narcissists, like,
Mm.
I don't
Oh
see
yeah.
myself compromising. Manipulation.
Yep.
Um, I'm a positive person, so if
Yep.
anybody living their life not positive, I can't feed into someone draining my energy.
Yep.
Like, it's very important for me. Um, Anyone draining my energy, like, that's, you got to be positive. Like,
Yeah.
just negativity, I just can't at all.
Agree. Good
But
one.
we do have someone, we are normally going to answer the questions at the end, but someone had a question in regards to what we were talking about. They're basically saying, how do you handle situations when you do have children and people automatically assume that the mother or the father is drama?
Mm.
For me, for me, because I've dated women with kids, and so for me, I don't assume men who, anybody that assumes, you make an ass out of yourself. Let's be clear, right? You shouldn't assume anything without properly the facts, right? Vetting and being with someone. If you truly love somebody, that's not going to matter unless it's really a problem. And if you see the drama, then you have insight now and you have wisdom versus just assuming, oh, she got kids, I won't mess with her.
Mhm.
Because again, you will miss out on a great person if you do
Mhm.
that, and you'll find yourself alone for a really long time.
Yep.
If you just go off of the assumption that people with kids are dramatic, that's not true.
No, it's not true.
There are great single fathers, there are great single mothers, and those people are still deserving of love. And
Right.
so I will never assume. Have I been with someone that had had healthy boundaries and limits for her children's fathers? Yes, she did. And so I was able to see that through. And there are relationships where they don't have healthy boundaries. And like I said, the the child's mother has a key to our house. Why? What's up with that? She can just come and go as she please. I'm missing baloney. That doesn't bother you, right? So having those things early on and having the insight. Anybody that assumes that someone with a child is bad for you is missing out on a true blessing, and you should never assume. Without
Right.
the
And
facts, you can't go anywhere.
I agree. I think also in the beginning, when you're dating someone, speak on it. Like, as far as your relationship with your baby father, your baby mother, speak on it. We're courting, have a great relationship, or if it's something that's going to hinder you dating, I think you don't want to talk about that. But I think it's important to just be open about your relationship with your son's father or your mother, the baby mom or baby dad. Because all relationships, because they didn't work out, doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad or
Yeah.
that you did bad. Um,
It had a season.
Me personally, like, I'm not with my son's father, but we have an understanding. We have an understanding at the end of the day. So like there's no drama there. We've had
Yeah.
drama, but we have an understanding. So I think that's
Yeah.
when you're communicating with others in regards to your relationships or how your relationship goes when you have children.
What?
What?
Miss Jen, she was like,
I
yeah, she's in it. She's in the zone.
I apologize.
You
Well,
fine.
I wanted to go with that. I was with someone that had baby mama drama. Even from the beginning, from when we started dating. So that is something that, like Janera said, that you really, really, once you get to know someone, you really have to, like, asking questions about the father or mother of the child is very important, because sometimes you'll stay with this person because you love them and you'll probably get through it. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily happen. Sometimes the drama is too much, and because of that, you end up the guy might be a great person, but you get to a point where you don't want to deal with the drama with the baby moms or baby dads.
right,
It's too much
So,
stress.
right.
yeah, it's too much stress. So that's why, like, and I'm saying this in general for men or women now, make sure you ask those questions and see, because sometimes you can see the red flags, and sometimes they just stay until they get tired of it. Sometimes they don't, and they just stay until until things just get fixed on their own.
Yeah.
It can take
And
years.
and also some people are so afraid of being alone that they will possibly accept the devil and pretend to be happy.
Yes.
Yep.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Yes. Oh
Yep.
man, they ain't ready for that.
No.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
And I think you also have to set boundaries for the person that you're not with. I think you've got to let them know, like, this is what I'm not going to tolerate.
Yep.
We no longer together. It's a done deal. And this is what I'm expecting for if you get into a relationship. Not expecting, but this is like, you got to communicate. You got to communicate. And not argue. If y'all get into an argument about dating other people, come back to it when it's calm, because you don't want to communicate when you guys are arguing. But I think you guys have to have like an understanding on both parts if y'all aren't to be together.
From the door.
What's expected if they go with somebody else? If you guys aren't going to be together and y'all have children, y'all have to have some type of boundaries and what's expected from each part.
Though
mama, baby dad, whatever.
Though also like, see, I like, you know, it is some great, you know, single moms out here. You know what I mean? So, you know, like, but my thing is this. I don't really complain, but you know how Queen was saying she don't do the big. I can't do the big father drama. Yeah, I mean, like I'm a peaceful guy, and especially if she has kids and like, or just in general, if that man got cool, you know, close to those kids and all that, like that's trauma for them. So that's not,
Right.
yeah, that's not cool. So you know,
Yeah.
like it's always good to get an understanding. You know, I mean, like in the beginning, don't wait to the middle towards the end. Get that done early.
And you're right. I'll be quick on this one. I experienced that firsthand, and it was maddening. It was
Me too.
absolutely
Oh,
insane. It was absolutely insane. It was as simple, and it was some people look at it as simple. It was as petty as I wanted to give her son a haircut.
What?
He
Wow.
was what was he? He was 3 years old, and his hair was out to like hair, good breed, right? And it was just like every time we would want to go out, or every time we would want to go somewhere, we would have to work on his hair, or braid his hair, or put it in one, or put it in a ponytail, or whatever. 'Cause he had a lot of hair, and oftentimes when he's
Yeah.
coming back from his dad, he got gum, he got staples, he got boogers,
What?
all kind of stuff in his hair, and now that's delaying us and affecting us on our stuff, right? There are many times that we would try to go out, and here he comes dropping off the child, and his hair is a complete disaster. Like he went over with braided hair, and he comes back with a half done head, and we have to stop what we doing. We got to rearrange our plans to fix him and get him presentable again. And so my solution was, I'm gonna cut his hair, and it caused tense stress on me because she would always have to ask him, right? And to me, that's an easy answer. He doesn't want to take care of it when he has his son. Let's cut it,
Wait,
because
I'm sorry, Marcus. Ask, can you cut the boy's hair?
yes. No, she wanted to get it done because she was tired of braiding it, combing it, taking the boogers out, I mean, he came home one time and he had staples in his hair. Staples.
what?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
And
wow.
and we found the staples because he kept scratching his head. And one time he put his hand out and there was blood on his hand. And so when we went through his head, there were staples in his hair. The kids had gotten a staple gun and they were just stapling each other for fun. And so he had staples in
wow.
his hair.
Oh my
And
God.
so she's cussing out the dad. How you gonna let this happen to our son? And I'm saying, let me cut his hair. Because the dad didn't want to do it. And but the father didn't want to take care of the hair. So you don't want to take care of the hair. You don't want to groom your son. And so, but you also won't let us cut his hair. So that, even as simple as a haircut, became problematic for us because
Dresser.
we had to rearrange our schedule constantly because we always had to fit in time to get him healthy again. You know what I'm saying? When you see a 3-year-old baby with staples in his head and his head is bloody, that
That's true.
your whole night is shot, as it should be. But that has now caused a damper in the relationship, and it was so it was so constant that it became too much over time.
Mhm.
And so, yes, I agree with you, man. A lot of painful things, and a lot of things that's not talked about early, and not setting those boundaries early. Like I said,
Mhm.
it would have been very easy for me to just take the young man and take him to the barber shop
Though man,
and cut him.
though my father wasn't wrong, Marcus. He you know what I mean, about, see, when you young, you a young man, you don't really understand. Like you like, okay, I hear you, but my father was right. But like now at 29, I can say he was right. If you're talking to a woman, understand, yeah, that's the package deal. Even when things, my dad's real old school. Even when things don't work out, keep that, you know, bondage, whatever you know it is. But you know, like it's a different era, and like a lot of, you know, like our people are not traditional. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing, you know. I'm
Mhm.
not bashing them. You know, ain't nothing wrong with it because you know we live in an era now where the parents are young, the grandparents are young too.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, like, and it's sad that like when a woman allows a nice guy to come into their life and then other entities, you know what I mean, disrupt that, and they don't speak upon the real, and you allow that to build up, and then poof, it's over, and that kid is hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Great kid, man. He was a great kid.
Yeah, yeah. Mm, mm.
But I
How do
had
you
to
guys?
bow out.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. How do you feel about social media dating and blind dating and blind dates?
Social media dating,
Yeah, and
Mhm.
blind dates.
social
Oh,
media.
let's start with social. Yeah, with social media.
Yeah,
Let's start with social media
listen.
first.
In 2020, to all the women that's watching right now, social media dating, packs and mace. Now we play. But
What did you just say?
all right, but look, social media dating. I look at it like this,
I missed
Social-
what you said. You got to repeat that.
huh?
What did you say? I missed the joke.
I said to all the women on this, show and this live, packs and mace. You know what I mean? But my thing is this: it's it's not that bad, but ain't that good either, because on social media, anybody can be anything.
Yep.
And see, but
Anybody can
only-
be anybody if you meet them at the grocery store. They can give
I-
you a
right. But what I'm saying is that it's a good thing if you got some understanding, if you know how to if you know how to observe the viewpoints, if you know how to analyze a person, because you got a lot of people on here really, and no offense to them, it's not a put down. They looking for love on here. She, he, they trying to find that significant other. But let me tell you something, and I'm gonna be real, not to go too deep on here. It's a lot of spiritual demons behind these devices. It's so, and, you know what I mean? So like, if you don't have a strong intuition and a strong mind, and because I see, I see people on here to give their addresses. Yeah, come on, come get me. Like, so
Netflix
like,
and chill.
yeah, Netflix and chill. No, we're gonna change Netflix and chill to Netflix and kill, because that's real.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if you know your worth, and like who you are, then it's cool, no problem. It's good. If you don't, you're gonna have lots of problems. Now, I'm gonna be a hypocrite. I've met someone off. Why you laughing? That's messed up. Anyway, I've met someone off here. They seemed real. They really did. You know what I mean? No, they were real, but they seemed real. Like, I assumed what I was already seeing. But when that situation came in physical contact, I got to see, okay, yeah, that's not adding up. If it looks like a duck and quack, then, yeah, what's going on? Well, but I look at it like this: social media is okay for me. The only reason I have any type of social platform is because of my profession. As far as dating, you just got to be careful with that on here. You just have to really be careful. You got to be careful.
Yep.
Marcus. How do you feel?
Social media, yes. What was the second one?
We're gonna do start with social media dating. The other one was blind dating.
Social media dating, it's become the norm, right? And I have a whole podcast episode dedicated to dating online. I think it's become the norm more than ever, especially with the pandemic and COVID-19 coming into the picture and people having to stay at home. But online dating has been around a lot longer than 2020. I think so. Online dating evens the playing field, because typically if I go out and I meet a young person, it is very hard for me to tell if that person is exclusive, if they're courting, if they're being courted, if they're married, and whatnot. Virtual dating puts people with common minds in the same room, and it evens the playing field, because I know your intentions, because you and I are in the same place, and we wouldn't be in the same place if we weren't looking for the same thing.
Right.
And so it removes that mystery. It removes me having to guess if the girl at the bar, if I can buy her a drink or not, and is her man across the room waiting to deck me with a house, like a house of cards, right?
Mhm.
So I think social media is going to become more and more the norm, and meeting people online is going to be more and more the norm. The secondly, I think it's a positive because whoever is for you may not be in the same place that you live. And so,
Mhm.
how are you?
Yep.
Rihanna dated a prince from Dubai. How would that connection have ever happened without the influence of the internet? How would that? How do two people across two different cultures connect? And so, I think it gives you the ability to connect who God has for you, and it opens that your bubble, and it expands that bubble. So now you can meet someone that has the qualities that you have. Because if you limit yourself to just where you live, you're gonna
Mhm.
find yourself oftentimes frustrated. And I've interviewed plenty of people that are frustrated because they can never meet someone like them. They can't meet they don't meet someone that's like-minded from them. But you're from South Dakota and you're living in Virginia. You're not you're, the chances of you meeting
Mhm.
someone that thinks the way
That's
you do
great.
is very hard, right?
Yep.
You're not gonna meet someone that thinks like you. If you're Hispanic and you're meeting someone, um, well, New York is a bad example because there's a whole Hispanic culture in there. But if you meet someone that's not from where you grew up, it's not going to oftentimes work out, and you're oftentimes going to find yourself differing more than that. So I hope that social media takes more of a role because who knows, your Prince Charming may be in Dubai, your Prince Charming may be in Hawaii, and how are you two going to meet if not for social media? Because I don't know about you, but the last vacation I took was a couple years ago.
Mm.
And so it's very hard. We all want the Stella got her groove back, right? We want to meet our guy, our love of our life in Jamaica, right? He gives us some jerk chicken and a coconut.
Like 90 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiance. That was another one, right? Your Prince
Oh man.
Charming or your queen may be in a different zip code. And social media opens that platform. Virtual dating opens that door. And I
It
think people
does.
need to take precaution, right? Just like
Right.
you said, you got to make sure you're not being catfish. You got to do some
Yep.
investigation
Right.
before you meet physically. You got to do your homework. But
Mhm.
we're in an information age. How can we live in an information age and not know a good amount of people? I can know a good amount about somebody before I ever meet them because your information is public.
Yep.
If I find you on Facebook and you got the professional, yeah, and then I go on Instagram and your butt is on a sink, there's a mix up there, right?
Right.
Now I got some contrast. I got this over here and I got this over here. Let's meet in the middle, girl. What you talking about? What you doing? You an Instagram model or you really a professional businesswoman? What are we talking
Right.
about?
Exactly.
So you
Yep.
can't tell me with some good research you can't collect a lot of information. There are baby mamas that find their baby daddies on social media. Done collected child support, found the new girl, texting it. Oh, you
Yep.
with that new
Yep.
chick? Oh, done
Yep.
found
Yep.
this dude's whole profile, right?
Yep.
Served him court papers off of social media
You can serve court papers off of
because he was posting about where he was.
to be at right,
Yep.
every 5 minutes. You're right.
We ain't gonna
He's
post no
posting.
more.
So the dude is in California, never told his baby moms that he moved to California, and he got served child support papers in California
That's crazy.
because the dude is a photographer and he's taking pictures, and Facebook and Instagram are tagging where he's at.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Yep. Mhm.
some people and not to forgive me, but some people are just dumb. Like I mean, it's yeah. Oh my, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Well,
But yeah,
you could say, and you're right. You could say that he's dumb. Number one, you shouldn't have been skating child support. Number one. Number two,
yeah.
Yes.
number two, you can find anybody. So if you take that same energy that you did to find him for child support papers, you can take that same energy with a potential mate that you're interested in, just with a little research.
Mm-hmm.
So I am excited for virtual dating.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I've done it. I mean, I've met people, interesting people, but I mean, a few of them I've stayed good friends with. But that's why you do a lot of videos. That's why you meet them in public and you get to know
Yeah.
them. You gotta ask the questions. And me, I probe. I'm sorry, I will probe you. Oh, why are you asking me that? Because I need to know. I want to know. Want to know. So yeah.
I agree. I've met people through online dating or whatever you want to call it. I'm not the type of person to like go to the club and like. I mean, I'll go celebrate if I need to with my girls, but like, I don't be in the club every weekend. Like, I'm a traveling type of person, so it's like, where do you meet people? I'm a businesswoman, you know,
Mhm.
and I don't always want to be the people that I interact on a daily basis, you know, just to try new things. So I've experienced in the social media dating. I don't think it's different from meeting somebody out at the grocery store, at the park, because at the end of the day, you got to get to know that person. And that goes back to what I've learned in the past. When someone knows you who they are, so that's how I feel about social media dating. As far as blind dating, just people still do that. There's so much catfish that goes on, and just be safe. Just be safe in regards to blind dating. And there's so much technology where you can video chat with people. So
Mm-hmm.
is blind dating still a thing?
Huh?
Do y'all guys think is blind dating still a thing with like FaceTime and Google Duo? Do people still be blind?
I think people should still blind date. I think um I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. If you stay blind, right, and then if you continue to just pursue someone and you never meet, you never interface, you never see the physical, right? I need to see the physical because I can sit here and talk to you all day long, but what y'all don't know is I'm in a wheelchair and right. So at some point, the blindfold has to come off, right?
Right.
The blindfold has to come off, and so to kind of I could think you have a great spirit, a great nurturing heart, a great personality. You sound about business, you're talking about business, and next thing you know, you got 11 toes, right? So
Yeah, not only that, you know what I mean? Like, you know what, blind, it's never a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
That's the only thing. You know what I mean? You know, I ain't gonna listen. I'm not just listen. I've talked to people, very few, you know, women on like online. You know what I mean? But when you get to like, thank God for video chatting. Thank God for that. Thank
Yes.
you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. When you get to see them and they, well, you know, I walk on the wrong side of the bed, you know, but and I'll just be like, yes, you did.
today,
Hit that end button. But like I said, and I keep repeating that. I'm gonna say this, right? Queen already knows what I'm about to say, or maybe she doesn't. But sometimes the people that are candy to our eyes can be poison to our hearts. So we have to study their
Yeah.
ingredients before feeding them to our souls.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
have y'all ever skated on a blind date?
I've never been on one, so I really wouldn't know.
So you do all your homework, Skype, everything before you meet in person.
Yes. Yes. I've never really like did a
Yeah.
blind date. I've always done like the regular social media, you know, just talking to them, letting them we see each other's profile. But I am the type like if someone like pops up and it doesn't have a profile picture, I will not talk to you.
Absolutely.
I will not talk to you because then they don't have and then like even if you go into somebody's profile, sometimes they don't have they only have a little bit of tiny information and you just don't know who's really behind that.
Right.
We are cutting close to time, so let's just real quick do a few more questions, and then we're gonna wrap it up. I'm just gonna ask each person, what is 5 most important things in a relationship to you guys? Marcus, would you go first?
Sure. 5 important things to a relationship: communication, self-love, um, God, having
Mm.
God at the center of it,
Mm.
and
Yup.
2, right?
having
3.
having a good support system around you, surrounding yourself with like-minded, positive, affirmative action people, having a good quality people in your corner, and the last one, um, having that foundation before pursuing that relationship.
How about you, Derek?
First and foremost, I'm gonna say God first. God, for me, like at the forefront. Trust. You gotta have trust because if you don't have that trust, and it ain't no love there. Um, mm, being equal with one another, having a true equal balance. The fourth, honesty, just being honest with each other. Like, and I'm gonna add that into the communicating. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just add that on in there. And the fifth one, uh, having respect. You gotta have the respect. Yeah.
That's good. I agree. God, God, definitely number one. Self-love, I think, is important because I don't want someone to feel as though I have to make them like I want to make. Obviously, I want to make my partner happy, but I don't want that to be the reason that they're with me. I want them to love themselves first before getting it. So I think self-love. Another one, communication and respect. Um, that's very important. Consistency, like that is like top between God.
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
is very important to me. Having the same energy, but that's consistency and trust and being honest. Jenny.
What did you say?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, for me, obviously, it's Papa God. Praise you, God. Thank you, Jesus. It's value for each other, trust, communication, and respect. That's what mine is.
That was very nice too. Very nice. Very nice.
So before we wrap up, guys, did you have any questions for us? Do you have
Say it again. I couldn't hear.
questions for me and Jenny or for women that you would like to discuss?
Oh, yes, I have. I was taking notes. I got to put down. Okay, so damn, I don't know where to start. Okay, what do you and Jenny value the most? Like, you know what I mean? Like when y'all into that bondage with that person, like what do y'all value? Like within that, bondage.
Why do you have me stumped?
Yeah, you can go. You can go first.
I definitely, communication and respect. I value that when a man listens to me when I'm feeling a certain way, when I'm in my emotions or being on, whatever you want to call it. I value a person that listens to me and take heed to what is bothering me. So like if something's bothering me and I'm explaining to that person that what's bothering me and they take initiative to change it, that's very important. Like that's like bravo. Like that I value that. But on top of that, God. I value people's lives for God, and I want someone that's going to have the same type of relationship that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing. How about you, Jenny?
I like that.
Mine is what I value a lot is someone really respecting my beliefs, my core values, and just listening to me and how I feel, even at my worst, my good, and even in if my really goofy moment. So, and to me, that's important.
Very nice. Very nice, ladies.
Again?
Did you guys want to share on that question that Derek had?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for this platform.
Thank you for the opportunity. I made it.
Wait. So before we go, we ask all our guest speakers, what makes you uncommon? So Derek, if you don't mind going first, what makes you uncommon? What makes you different from others?
What makes me different? That's tough. I'm gonna just say this. I'm humbled enough to know that I'm not better than anybody, but I'm wise enough to know that I'm different from the rest. And by saying that, like I like to go outside of the box to the point where there's no box. I like to just be myself. I mean, like in a world full of people following something and following something else, I like to just lead and trust that God will guide me to like to those key points. And for example, if a crowd of people is going go right, I'm gonna go left because I like to just have my own mind and just to be different. Yeah.
And Marcus, what makes you uncommon?
What makes me uncommon is, despite my past, despite everything that has happened to me, the ebbs and flows of life, I still choose love. I still choose to love and love others the way God loves me. If we are so quick to cut people off, we are so quick to, when someone messes up in our lives or doesn't act a certain way, we just cut them off. Can you imagine if God cut us off the way we cut other people off? We'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And because of that love he has for me, I choose love every day. Even when someone hurts me, someone goes against me, I set those healthy boundaries, I set those limitations, but I still love them because he loves me and he forgives me when I mess up and when I stumble. So
forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Yes.
Let's double check and see if we have any questions from our viewers. For those that did the watch party, Jenny, do you have any questions from your viewers?
I couldn't go. I couldn't do it. Remember, I'm on my phone.
Yeah, mine won't let me either.
I'm in Facebook jail. I'm sorry. I'm
He
sorry.
said he's on Facebook jail.
I am suspended from posting.
One that's talked. Okay, we talked about social media, so we covered that. Okay, and then there was just other comments. All right, great. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to Uncommon Women. I hope you enjoyed today's topic. It will be audio next week. As far as like iTunes, people that don't have social media, so it'll be on iTunes. If one has Android, it'll be on Google Podcasts, Podcaster, Spotify. We're on a whole bunch of search engines. So you're more than welcome to tune in next week. That'll be audio version. I did also want to let you know, viewers, real quick, that we are doing a raffle. We are giving out $100. So
in order snap.
in order to actually qualify for the raffle, you purchase one of our shirts, and we have a different couple of shirts. It's just one of them. They all come in black and white, so it's empower women. And then we have Stay Uncommon, because that's what we teach about, Stay Uncommon. And then we teach about self-love. So our other shirt is Be Original, Not a Counterfeit. And all these shirts come in black and white. We are doing 3 winners. Our first winner is going to have get $75 cash prize. Our second winner is going to get one of our jogger sets that we have. And then our third prize winner is going to get $25. So you have until 1st of August to purchase one shirt. A shirt is $20. We are shipping out. You're more than welcome to purchase more than one shirt. But in order to actually enter, you have to purchase one shirt, share and tag, share our page, rather Instagram or Facebook on your page. Tag 3 people and include women. So that's how you actually get entered in the raffle, and we'll be promoting it. You have until the beginning of August. But thank everyone for actually tuning in today, and be sure to stay uncommon.